Hi, my name is Eddie Lopez, and I'm honored to be here with two fantastic directors, Dr. Kevin Sedatole, Director of Bands for Michigan State University, and Colonel Jason Fettig, Director of the President's Own United States Marine Band. We're here in the historic Warner Theater in Washington, D.C. to announce the creation of the National Youth Wind Ensemble that'll take place here in June of 2020. We're excited to be bringing young musicians, the ages of 16 to 19, here to share music in our nation's capital. So we're going to talk a little bit about just your experiences with youth ensembles and why you think this particular project is something that'll be pretty unique for them.
Well, I think it's an incredible idea. I've conducted certainly my share of all states, and it's so great to see students come together that are like-minded, that are all there for what seemingly is the right reason, they're all like-minded. But something like this brings the whole country together, hopefully, from California to the East Coast and north to south. A gathering place for American high school musicians and young college musicians. It's a terrific opportunity. I think that will be something very special.
Yeah, I completely agree with Dr. Sedatole. You know, having the opportunity, as I do once in a while, to go out and conduct honor festivals in all states, I'm always struck with the intensity of the music making too. It's a chance for people to get into an environment where they are really fully immersed in the music that we're making, not only between conductor and ensemble, but also, of course, with each other, as you referenced. To have an opportunity to meet other musicians that are like you, that take musically as seriously as you do, and to work together for a period of time toward a common goal, which would be a fantastic concert at the end of this festival.
Yeah, definitely. And you know, not only are they going to be able to come and share music together, but they're also going to be able to see things that they don't normally see in their hometown. So coming to Washington, D.C., you have the history of, you know, they're going to be able to tour the barracks, watch a rehearsal with the President's Own, and also enjoy an evening parade. So why don't you talk a little bit about how they would do that and kind of what their experience is?
Yeah, I think for a training musician, there's no substitute for being able to hear professionals play and to be able to watch professionals and high-level ensembles like great collegiate ensembles perform and rehearse. And so I'm really excited about the opportunity for these musicians to come in and watch a rehearsal by the President's Own, kind of watch how the sausage is made a little bit, getting ready for a public performance, and to see that there are commonalities between all musicians in the way that they make music and absorb music. And so I hope that experience will be fruitful. Coming to Marine Barracks, Washington, which is a very historic building, we have a lot of artifacts going back hundreds of years, including the artifacts related to John Philip Sousa, who was the 17th director of the band that I now conduct, the Marine Band. And then also to see another side of military music, especially in coming to a Friday evening parade, which is a very famous ceremony that happens every Friday during the summer. It's world famous. Thousands of people come every week to watch Marines execute Marine Corps ceremonial traditions. And the Marine Band and the Marine Drum and Bugle Corps, the music is a huge part of that ceremony. It's a very impressive thing to watch.
Yeah, and I had the pleasure of going to tour the barracks last year, and it was great just to see the things in the cases, the original manuscript, getting to see John Philip Sousa's baton. Yeah. It was just great to see that, and then also observing a rehearsal of the President's Own. And you have a special relationship with the President's Own as well, so you want to explain a little bit about that?
My daughter-in-law is now part of the horn section in the President's Own, which I'm very proud of. She's also a Michigan State grad, and so it's the opportunity for these students to witness something that's so historic within band lore is so unique, and I think is something that students really should consider when thinking about auditioning for something like this. That yes, there's going to be a concert, we're putting a band together, and it'll be very special, but the opportunity to do something like this, I've never done this. I've never been to the Marine Barracks before. I'm as excited about this as maybe any student would be, because it's this is the premier band in the country, and to see where John Philip Sousa walked and worked, and all of the really special musicians that's been part of this, it's a very, very unique opportunity.
Well, and discussing kind of how the history of all that, I mean, this is Washington, D.C., kind of where concert band was started, and why don't you discuss the history about that and your experience in
well,
that?
it's from my perspective, the Big Ten band director, big most Big Ten schools started out of military tradition through the ROTC programs that are housed at all of the universities. Bands started like that. Those were their beginnings, and what they were trying to model is what they saw from D.C. with all of the military ensembles. So they largely started out as marching units first, for whatever the case may be, for football games, for parades, whatever the university needed, and then those ensembles morphed into the concert ensembles. But usually it was just that was the ensemble. There was one, the marching ensemble and the concert ensemble, exactly the same people for many, many years. If you go back and look at the uniforms of most of the bands that started probably in the late 1800s, they're all military style uniforms and were for a very long time, for probably their first 50 to 75 years. The uniforms never changed. So, and that's a direct reflection from the military in Washington, and so there's a big link between those the universities and the military bands in the Capitol.
Yeah, and that's exactly right. I think just thinking about what you see you go to these band halls all over the country and you see the original pictures and you see them in their military uniforms and how that kind of created and turned into what it is today. So you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, well, I mean, Washington, D.C. is really one of the founding cities of band music in this country. I mean, and the Marine Band is the oldest continuously active professional band in the entire country. In fact, it was founded in 1798, started in Philadelphia, but then quickly moved down here in 1800. So band and Washington, D.C. have been synonymous for more than 2 centuries now. And the Marine Band's been here ever since. And as bands in America evolved over the course of the 19th and 20th centuries, they of course exploded and blossomed into all of the wonderful programs we have today in this country. Not only all the great military bands here in Washington and across the country, but all the great collegiate programs, like the wonderful collegiate program at Michigan State, all came from that military tradition. And now America is really a country of bands. We have some of the best bands in the entire world. And to have an opportunity to come and explore that repertoire and explore that history and those traditions with not just one conductor, but 2 conductors, hopefully will be a very appealing thing for the young students who are part of this program.
Definitely. Well, I'd like to thank both of you for being here, joining me in announcing this National Youth Wind Ensemble. Again, we're excited to be together to bring young musicians from across the country here at the Warner Theater in June of 2020, and we hope that you apply, and we look forward to having you next year.